AAUW is me.
I wanted to meet some new people and do some different things. And I also wanted to be part of an organization that had a social commitment to young women and the community at large.
I want to be a contributing member of an organization where women help women in promoting education, in making friends, in entertaining one another, and in sharing ideas about this world.
Women would want to join the AAUW because we have a very fierce commitment to equality and equity for women and girls. And if that's something that you're interested in, this is one of the best venues to help channel that energy.
Hello, welcome to AAUW Connections. Tonight we're going to be talking about the foster care system, a subject that many of us don't know, we don't think about it very much, and so we don't know as much about it as we should, but a system that has a profound impact on the lives of many young people. And here with us to talk about it is our Kim SNODGRASS. Kimberly is the founder and national director of REACH, which is Reaching Foster Youth. And it's an acronym, and we can talk about that a little later. And we're going to also be talking to NICHOLE MERRILEES and ESTER DELEON VALLE. And they are, what should I say, experienced, have had experience with the foster care system, and they'll be telling us some about their story. But first, Kimberly, tell us a little about your background and what led you to start this program. Kimberly is really an amazing entrepreneur, but tell us your story.
Too bad I don't make millions of money being a social entrepreneur.
Well, you may someday, who knows?
I hope. Okay, so I started my life out, I guess you can say, at a very young age going through the foster care system myself. I come from a biological family of 5 siblings, well, including myself, and all of us were in and out of the foster care system until, well, I was adopted when I was 16, but I was placed with the SNODGRASSes from age 11 to 16.
As a foster
Yeah, we
home.
were foster children for the SNODGRASSes, and then it got to the point where we were almost reunified with my birth mother, but then she tested dirty for drugs and alcohol, and they were like, rewound our process, put us back, and actually asked us if we wanted to be adopted by the SNODGRASSes.
All of you?
Well, there was just me, my brother Max, my little sister Jennifer in the home. My older sister and older brother at the time were too old. They had already aged out of the foster care system.
Which is, just for those people who don't know.
Right. So on average, about 20,000.
No, I mean, how old are?
18.
Oh yeah. So once you turn 18, you become you age out of the foster care system, which means you completely come out on your own, and you have to just fend for yourself if you don't have a family. And
at the age of 18, which is pretty.
Yeah, and that was my brother and sister while I was getting adopted. So, I mean, that's my background, and then when I was 16, the SNODGRASSes adopted me, and my brother Max and my brother sister, and then they also, a year later, adopted Aaron and Rebecca. And so I have an adopted sibling set of 5. The SNODGRASSes already had 4 children of their own, so that's 9 SNODGRASSes in one household, and then I still have my biological siblings, and then Aaron and Rebecca have additional siblings as well.
So you are literally. The SNODGRASSes are legally your parents.
Yeah.
And so you're obviously still in touch with them, and why not?
Yes. Yeah, so. Unfortunately, my adopted father, Jim Snodgrass, passed away when I was a freshman in college. He was diagnosed with cancer and passed away on Christmas morning. And
so you went to college.
Yes.
And bring us up to how you founded REACH. Why?
Okay, so I went to UC Irvine as a Guardian Scholar through Orangewood Children's Foundation.
What children?
Orangewood Children's Foundation.
Okay.
They are the largest nonprofit in Orange County that serves youth in the foster care system from infant to adulthood, really. They have a housing facility, the Orangewood Home, where I actually resided as, 11 years old with my 3 siblings. They put us in different homes, and we stayed there until a foster family could take us. So I'm very well connected with Orangewood. I ended up going to college because I just felt like I wanted to go, I needed to go, but I didn't have a purpose. And I ended up connecting back with Orange Ridge and told them I wanted to go to college, and they said, if you want to go, you should apply to, you know, here's a list of schools that could give you potentially a full scholarship. So I was like, oh, well, I need to apply just to the closest school and the one that will give me the most money. So I applied to UC Irvine, and I knew nothing about getting into college. I didn't know how the application was. I didn't know.
So you were in Orange County at the time?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's not so lovely, Orange County, as they display it on the TV show. I mean, there are bad parts of Orange County, and there are struggles in Orange County that a lot of people don't notice. And Orange County has a high percentage of youth in the foster care system, believe it or not, and so does LA. Actually, California holds the most foster children in America, so it's just kind of...
Well, it also has the biggest population.
Right, so that's probably okay. But yeah, so I applied to college. I applied to one school, not knowing if I'd get in.
Oh my goodness.
I thought everyone got into college. I didn't have an older sibling, and also I'm the first generation of all my siblings to go to college. So not knowing the process, I signed myself up, set in everything, took my SAT scores very last minute, and just did it. And luckily I got in, and actually first I got rejected. I applied as a music major because I thought I wanted to teach music one day, and they denied me. And so I changed my my major as undecided, and then they accepted me. So I got in, and I was just really fortunate being a Guardian Scholar that they kind of opened my eyes that there's so much more to life than just going to college. And I entered a summer program called SAP, Summer Academic Enrichment Program, led by a really great professor, Cesar Saraceres. And Cesar, Jeanette Castellanos, and Joe Maestas, they were like my team, and also my counselor. They were just really great people that were like, Kim, you are just so great at this. You should do more, do more, do more. What about grad school? And I said, what is grad school? As a sophomore, they're like, you should go to grad school. And I did not even know what that word meant. So then I started looking into it, and that summer program opened up my eyes that you could really give back to the community that you belong to. And I was like, what is a community?
So from then, so you did go on.
Yeah, so from there I was like, oh, I guess I'm from the foster care community, something I never talked about. I mean, this was unspoken. None of my high school friends knew, no one knew, because that's not cool and that's not popular. It's just not something you talk about. So I ended up telling my story, and that's actually how I ended up writing a couple books at a young age in college, because the more and more I told young people about my story, it just was eye-opening to them that they too could go to college. And they were blown away that I had blonde hair and was in college and had a car and had my life getting put together piece by piece, and that I came from the foster care system. So it was like, I felt like this desire to go to grad school and to get some sort of...
So then you did go to grad school?
Yes. So then I applied to grad school all over the place, into either social work, public policy, or education. I ended up choosing to go to Harvard.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good choice. That's an amazing, not many people are even offered that choice. Very, very few.
Actually, I was denied to go to Harvard in the beginning as well. I applied as a PhD student, and they said no. But then, after I had already got my rejection letter, they said, they sent another email saying, hey, we accepted you to our master's program. And I said, yes!
And so
I'll take it.
Went, yes.
You sign me
so you went and majored in, or your specialty was?
It was a master's in education from the Harvard Graduate School of Education with a focus in risk and prevention. And that's why we're here tonight, because I started a program.
So yeah, when did you start the program?
We started in, I guess, late 2009.
Were you still in graduate school at that
Yeah,
point?
I was still in grad school. I started it as a club on campus. We had 25 members, and we met in our dorms, and we met on campus and did...
Were you all products of the foster care?
No. I was the only one on campus.
Oh, okay.
Actually, there was another girl that I ended up meeting that was also a former foster youth, but she was a lot older than I was.
Okay, so you formed
a group
as a club.
As a club.
And its purpose was?
Its purpose was to raise awareness about foster youth, to give community workshops and resources to youth in the area of Cambridge and Boston. And from there, I ended up writing my master's final project on an intervention, which I called REACH, which stands for Realizing Every Action Creates Hope. And the acronym to me just really means, you know, with great opportunities, you can create your dreams, your hopes, whatever you want to do.
As long as these opportunities, if you're somehow, yes.
Right, so my mission was to create something to just get youth involved and to open their eyes about great things that are out there. Because just like me, I mean, I went to a graduate school named Harvard, and 4 years before that, I didn't know what the process meant. So
you started the program in Massachusetts.
In Massachusetts, yes.
Does it still exist in Massachusetts?
It does. Yeah. Thanks for asking. So we started it in Massachusetts. It was snowing. I remember when we declared it was REACH, and it's still going. It's now taken over with 2 directors, Laura Powers and Marissa Sorensen, and they've done a really great job.
And they're in Boston?
They're in Boston, yeah. Marissa is a former foster youth, and she's also now at Harvard, which is just amazing how I found her. But it's like when you go to Harvard and you're a former foster youth, they just point the finger. Go talk to Kim. She was a foster child.
Well, it's obviously been a good thing. So now...
It's been great. I've been connected with great people.
So you came back to California.
Yes.
And started the program here in California.
Right.
And... now you have a fiscal sponsor.
Yes.
And that is?
Our fiscal sponsor is Together We Rise, founded by Danny Mendoza, and his whole entire board is under 25 years old. And he's located in Southern California, and he just told me, Kim, we need to apply for funding for REACH. We need to get this going. So we looked into Pepsi Refresh Project, got a bunch of high schoolers to text, to vote, spammed people all day long, and they voted every day for 30 days straight, and we won first place.
Wow! And how much funding did that bring?
We won $50,000 to carry REACH through 3 sites. So we have one in Southern California. Danny's running the one in Southern California. I was running the one in Boston, and now we had 6 more months of funding. I started it again in San Mateo County.
Okay. Have you found other additional funding since then, or?
We do. We have one small grant for the REACH program to do the Curves Fitness. Okay,
and so we'll touch on that in a while. Now, briefly, Esther, tell us just a little bit about you are a participant in the REACH program, so you are in the foster care system currently, correct?
Yes.
And just a little bit about your background, please.
Well, I came to foster care when I was 6 years old. I've been in foster care for about 10 years. I was placed in a home with this wonderful lady. She took care of me she raised me, so I call her my mother.
And you're still with her?
I recently came back with her.
Okay.
So you were reunified with your birth mother?
No.
Bounced back?
An incident happened and I had to move. And so when I was moved, I thought my life would fall apart because I wasn't with her. And so I was messing up, I didn't think I would make it. And then when I found out that my last chance was to go to Sacramento, I was just feeling, what am I going to do? Oh my gosh, I can't go. And so I asked if I could be placed with her, and they asked her, and she decided to take me in.
So that's where you are currently?
Yes.
Okay, and Nicole?
I was briefly entered into the foster care system when I was 6, and then again when I was 12. And my 2 sisters at the time and I entered, and they were adopted, and I haven't been able to contact them for 6 or 7 years. And then the youngest one, when she was born, she was taken from my mom and also adopted.
Your actual sisters. I misunderstood. I thought you meant 2 other young women in that 2 girls in that same home. Your actual sisters have been adopted because they were younger.
And
okay. You've lost touch with them.
Yeah, their adoptive parents decided to just not have any connection. And I don't think my littlest sister knows, or I don't think they know about their younger sister.
How old is she?
She's 7. Okay. And she's doing really great. She has a great mom. I wish she was my mom. She's so awesome. But
and you have since turned 18, so you're emancipated.
Yes.
But you're still involved. You are now involved with the REACH program
as an intern. Yes.
As an intern, and so you're helping other girls who were in the situation you were in. Now, Kimberly, I know that we've talked about some of the statistics about the youth in foster care are really appalling.
Right.
What, for instance, their graduation rates?
Yeah, their graduation rates right now are about a 50% dropout rate. So 1
Wow.
and 2 will make it. So of us 3, only 1.5 of us are going to graduate high school. 1 to 2% will make it to college. There are
But not literally of you 3.
Oh, no, we're
We're
gonna be fine.
superstars.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
an example of 3 people sitting in chairs.
Or
And-
4 people will make them.
Okay, 4. So,
So we don't have to
2
cut
of us
anybody in half.
And 2, yes. And the homeless rate is extremely high. 30%, once they age out of the foster care system, become homeless.
Sure, because they're only 18 and
Right.
have nowhere to go.
So how
It's
can you
not-
fend for yourself at 18 years old if you don't have that support system? There's no data on youth going to grad school. So, I mean,
Sure.
that just shows how awful the statistics are. And there's also a high teen pregnancy rate. I mean, you can
Not
name
surprising.
it. Yeah, right. It's all about having to do with supervision and adolescent brain development and why they, they're going through their hormones just like other people. But if they don't have that support system
Right.
like other families do, it's kind
Sure.
of easy to get tangled up
Well,
in that.
and one of what was interesting to me in reading some of the literature, your literature, is some of the impediments that are in the way of youth in high school, for example, who are in the foster care system, where in both of your cases you had fairly stable placements. But I guess that's my impression just from what you've said. But in many cases, these young people have been moved around from home to home, and as a result, just keeping track of their high school records. If they're interested in college, how do you, and then to say nothing of completing a college app, or is this true? I mean,
Right, yeah. So you guys could also kind of agree with me or not agree, but
I agree.
what happens oftentimes is the average movement of a child in the foster care system is 7 placements.
wow.
So on average, a child has been moved 7 homes.
By the time they get to 18.
By the time they get to 18, by the time they get reunified with their family, by the time they get adopted, there's a number 7 coming up. And what that happens internally is, one, psychologically, they're very confused. Now I have this set of parents, now I have this set of parents. Pack your bags up. You get a trash bag. You don't get a nice Louis Vuitton suitcase. You get a trash bag. Am I right?
Yeah.
Get a trash bag to put your stuff in. If you go to a group home, you check your bag in and you start with a new batch of clothes and an allowance and a behavior chart. It's just, it's this weird kind of structured environment you get thrown into, and then there's different rules and different cultures and different school setting, and so maybe your grades don't get transferred over, or maybe you took a some sort of class at another school that is just not heard of in another campus, and when you get into high school, it gets really messy because the college counselors don't communicate, and they might not know if the child is in foster care, so they have no ambition to follow the kid.
So now REACH comes into this, and you're dealing with high school age children, is that
Right.
And so what kinds of programs do you offer?
So REACH is designed, our mission is designed to break that cycle of abuse and neglect and homelessness and teen pregnancy, because oftentimes what you notice is just like our stories. These are our stories of our generation. Our parents before us, they can speak on behalf of themselves, but we've got a history behind us, and our mission of REACH is to break that cycle. I don't want, when I have children, I don't want to be a parent that's addicted to drugs or alcohol. I don't want to be that parent that can't provide for my child. I want to be able to have food on the table. I want to be able to send my child to college.
So how does REACH intervene?
So REACH is exactly designed as an intervention to go and break that cycle. What we offer are programs at 8 to 10 weeks in increments. Right now we're running an all-girls only Curves fitness program in San Carlos, and Leslie, the owner, has been really grateful for helping us get all girls in one room. We're building self-esteem, we're building peer relationships, we're getting them up and ready and beating obesity rates, teaching them about nutrition and fitness, and that's just one key kind of entry point for the girls to realize that there's really great mentors out there. We have inspiring girls on our team that have been through the foster care system, that are going to college, that have graduated college, that have cars, that have great jobs.
Who have been, and the girls in the REACH program are meeting. Now, for example, Esther, you're meeting some of those people, correct?
Yes.
And Nicole is an intern, and you tell us what that involves, being an intern.
I go and recruit other foster youth from the schools, high schools, and colleges.
So you go to the schools and...
I try to recruit other youth, and I also get the word out there. I hand out flyers. I've made some flyers to hand out at the colleges and everything, and I just try to get the word out there that, hey, there's this great program that helps foster youth. We're building peer relationships. We're learning how to network. We're learning how to better take care of ourselves.
And does the flyer, or when you meet the... Are you able to give them a number to contact, or how do they know then, okay, come to
I
Curves?
usually give them one of my cards, and then I also give them Kim's number and email address.
Okay.
And we have a Facebook page and Twitter, and kids these days love the social media, so they usually find us on Facebook.
Okay. And Esther, how did you find the program?
I found out by being a student in Independent Living Skills Program.
Independent Living Schools Program, okay.
Skills Program.
Skills, okay.
And we had people coming in to teach us about life when we emancipate, and we had a guy come in named Mark, and he introduced us to Kim, and I decided that it's a good idea to be around girls.
And as you said, that's just the end. As you said, Kim, that was just the entryway to build self-esteem, battle obesity, better nutrition, all of that, which all really great in and of themselves.
For her program, the ILP services, they've asked me to come in and speak on behalf of college prep and FAFSA readiness, and so I've come into different programs. They segregate it with different age groups, and so I've come in and they always hear me talk about the classes that Reach offers, and I design the curriculum, so I go in and speak on behalf of that. And it's like, if you want to join the program and see more of me, then you could join our ILP services with Reach or the the Curves program, and so that's how she got involved.
And what other skills are they taught? Are they taught anything about how to manage their money at some point?
They are. So you want to talk about that?
Mark is actually the financial advisor, and he's helped put on talking about how to save your money, how not to get into bad credit, and everything like that. And then we're also working on having the girls get more involved in filling out scholarships, because a lot of scholarships go unclaimed, and just how to write personal statements, how to write your resume and get a job.
And so you were saying earlier when we were talking that you actually do have sessions helping people to write their personal statement for college apps.
Right.
And what else do you have?
So it's basically life skills. Any life skill that we see a need for, we design it, and it's not just a cookie cutter program. So in Boston, they're actually doing a photography class, which Nicole would love if we had. And they're all about scrapbooking your life and telling your story through the lens of photography, and also literature. We're teaching them about poetry and how to use your words to express your life. And then also a byproxy of that is just having great mentors do these little classes with you. And it's like,
how do you choose your mentors? How do the mentors come to you? How does somebody think, I'd like to be a mentor?
Right. So we have, basically we've been partnering with schools and universities, and we've had a lot of grad students. A lot of grad students from the Harvard Graduate School of Education and the Kennedy School of Government.
Wow.
Yeah, so we've been fortunate.
High-powered mentors.
We've been fortunate to have Harvard on our side, and then Northeastern University has given us some mentors. But basically the requirements are that 1, you're motivated, 2, you're inspiring to our youth, and 3, that you're committed. I can't have someone on the team if they're not going to be there every session, because what these youth need is consistency. If I don't show up one day, they're going to be like, okay, well, Kim's not so serious about this program. So I ask that the volunteers are committed 100%. And I also ask the youth, when they join, they sign a contract. They will be in the program 100% attendance, other than getting sick and
have you both been in attendance 100%?
I have, yeah.
I didn't mean to embarrass you, but
yes, they both have been in 100%.
Okay. Now, how about, very quickly, because we're going to be getting to the end very soon here, what is the reaction of foster parents to when the young women living with them are in the REACH program? Are they supportive, or do they think, oh my goodness, that's just one more pain in the neck?
You can talk about your mom. Her mom loves the program.
Yes, actually, when I told my mom about Curves, she was excited. I told her it's all about girls. And so she's like, you should go. You need to speak to girls. And I was like, Mom, it's weird. But when I got in, It was actually really fun.
Sure, and now you've made more friends, I assume.
Her mom called me on my cell and was like, Kim, I need you to get Esther, pick her up because she only hangs out with her boyfriend. I need her to make girlfriends. And I think now you have, what, like 8 girlfriends. So.
And how often do you go to Curves?
Every Saturday.
Every
Every Saturday for an hour, and usually we go out to eat afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we usually socialize afterwards.
Is getting there a problem?
No, we usually have people volunteer to drive us.
Yeah, we
pick us
use
up and drive us there.
volunteers to drive, and we pick them up from their door, which is a great service, and then we take them back home when we're done.
Now, you probably haven't had, the program hasn't been in existence long enough. In Boston for how long?
In Boston
2 years,
since
3 years?
2009.
Okay, that's been a while. Have you done any follow-up on the participants? Do you have any, any analyses or surveys of how these girls are doing?
What we found is we don't have a huge sample size in Boston. We've served 12 youth in and out. But what we found is the youth that were qualified to go to college, which means that they were the age to go to college, because our youth range from 13 to 20 years old, or older sometimes. But what we found is the people who were eligible to go to college, that were ready, 100% of them went in.
My goodness, you can't argue with that.
Right.
And how many stayed, do you know?
So one girl is currently still in college, and the rest are in college. And one girl was accepted and got in, but she unfortunately got pregnant.
Which is a big...
Which it happens. So she's on a waiting list to re-enroll once she has her baby. But yeah, that's basically, and then our youth that we've had in California are, you want to talk about our findings?
Well, in 2 seconds, because we're out of time.
I'm pretty much in college full-time.
You're taking courses online, I know you said.
Doing well with that.
Good, and Esther, you hopefully will do that as well.
Yes, I will.
And I just want to thank all of you. We have so much more that we could have talked about. But thank you so much, Kimberly, especially. You are really to be congratulated for what you've done.
Thank you for having us
here.
Thank
you all for being with us, and thank you all out there for watching AAUW Connections.